Okay guys, this is the first of the Unit 2 mechanisms you may need to know for your exam. This is the free radical substitution mechanism, and it's broken down into these 3 steps: initiation, propagation and termination. Initiation takes place on your halogen, so you start off with a halogen. I'm going to do it with chlorine, but you could do bromine or fluorine or iodine if you wanted to, and it takes place with UV light. That's the key thing here, and how it works, it's called homolysis. 1 electron goes to each of these 2 chlorine atoms from this covalent bond, and we end up generating 2 chlorine radicals, which we represent, remember, with this dot. Okay, that's initiation. Propagation is this chain reaction. So we take one of our chlorine radicals and we react it with an alkane. I'm going to do it with methane. So here it is reacting with methane, and this step, this is a 2-step process, propagation, generates HCl and a methyl radical, which we represent CH3 dot, and then this methyl radical reacts with another molecule of chlorine, and this generates chloromethane and a fresh chlorine radical. And that's why it's a chain reaction, because what happens now is that chlorine radical that we've just regenerated can feed back in up here, and so here's our chain. And that's why this is quite a useful mechanism, because once you've got it going, it will continue until the products are used up. And the final step here is termination. The termination step is essentially any reaction that you can come up with up here that will use up 2 radicals. So you could have 2 methyl radicals could react together to make an ethane molecule. That's one possible termination step, and there are 2 other possible termination steps. We could have 2 chlorine radicals could go on to make a chlorine molecule, or we could have a chlorine radical reacting with a methyl radical to make chloromethane. So they're your termination steps. The important things to remember with this mechanism with regards to your exam are that they could, when they ask for terminations, they can specify the product of the termination, so you have to read the question carefully. And the other thing is you can potentially get further propagation steps, so this can continue. We could, until you ultimately will end up with the fully chlorinated alkane, so we could end up with tetrachloromethane here if this propagation step happened another 3 times to this particular molecule. And that's it.